Now, what is the correct way to pronounce your stage name?
Oh, just Ashley Summers.
Do people mispronounce this?
Yeah, I forgot where I was. I was just somewhere. And someone had called me like Ashleigh, and the other people like don't really know how to pronounce it, but it's just Ashley.
And do people misspell it as well?
Oh yeah, all the time. They spell it Ashley just off of hearing it.
Now, what do you notice people do more? Mispronounce or misspell this stage name of yours?
Definitely misspell. Cause like if you just hear Ashley, then people will like write it out like how I just said Ashley.
Now, this stage name of yours, is this a real name, your birth name?
No,
Neither one, the Ashleigh or the Summers is not.
Ashley is my real name, but Summers isn't.
And Ashleigh is spelled exactly on your birth certificate as it is on your stage name.
Mhm.
And do you know the reason for that spelling compared to the other Ashleigh that you just mentioned?
I think my parents just wanted it to be different.
Now, when it comes to this stage name of yours, do you accept any abbreviations of it?
Yeah, nobody really abbreviates Ashley Summers per se. Like people, of course, call me Ash Cash to shorten Ashley or Ash, but yeah, I don't really care.
And not a trick question here, but may sound similar. Zooming out, do you prefer people call you by your full stage name or any of these abbreviations?
It doesn't really matter to me. Like I'm not my that's not something I get really like picky about. I know some people don't like it when you call them a certain name or prefer to only be called this. Like Ashley, Ash Cash, Ashley Summers, like it's all fine to me.
And any connection to another person with the name Summers in their stage name that goes by the name Chris Summers?
Mm-mm.
Just curious there. Do you know who I was referring to?
No.
Oh, okay. She's got a screen name. It's Mad Gal Chris. I don't know if you know that person or not. But
Mm-mm.
that's her stage name, Chris Summers. But, anyways, moving forward, care to share your race, ethnicity, or nationality?
I'm black.
And what's the main language you speak at this point?
English.
Do you speak any other languages aside from English?
At one point I was fluent in Chinese. I still know a good bit of it, but not fluent no more.
And how did you learn that amount that you do know?
When was younger, when I lived in Maryland, I went to a school called Reed Temple Christian Academy, and they had a Chinese immersion program. So from I think when I was like in first grade up until I left, half of my day was spent in Chinese. Like I always say, I'm bad at math because I literally learned math in Chinese. Like I learned math in Chinese, so that's how I learned it.
Now, was that a requirement back then?
You had to do a language immersion. It was either Spanish or Chinese, and then my parents chose Spanish. I mean Chinese.
And did you take that class serious back then? Did you try to learn the language? Did you try to give it an honest shot?
I think I took it about as serious as any kid took it serious as they did at school. Looking back, I really wish I did focus in on it more because, like, growing up, that is a really cool skill to have, especially if I could be fluent in it now. But it wasn't like I didn't completely disregard it. Like, I feel like everybody who was in the Chinese class took it a little more serious. So,
And how many grades of that did you take?
5.
And care to share the grades?
First through fifth.
Got it. Now, zooming out, how far did you end up getting with your education?
I graduated high school, but I never went to college.
And why did you stop with that education level there? Why not further? Some people do college, trade school, things of that nature, so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's always. I was just talking about this yesterday too. It's always crazy to see how like life turns out because in high school, there is no way on earth I thought I would be doing what I was doing now. Like I was taking AP chemistry, AP psychology, AP physics. I was doing dual enrollment. I had my CNA. I was a certified nursing assistant. I got my CNA license, and I was like ahead in science because what I wanted to do, I wanted to go into either the healthcare field or into the FBI. Really, any forensic science type, psychology, anything. So all the way up until senior year, that's what my plan was. And then that's around the time I first got started on Instagram and started making like money doing that. I think at the time I was doing music videos too or whatever. So it was just around that time when I like making good money doing that. I wasn't really feeling school anymore. So I was like, I'm not really. And I did the whole application process, everything. I applied to colleges and got accepted and everything. I just never went. Like I had a conversation with my mom, and she was like, if you really don't want to go and you're not gonna 100% apply yourself right now, then you don't have to go. Especially because I'm doing something else. Like it's not like I said I'm not going to college and just stayed home and did nothing. So.
And of those schools that you applied to, did you get accepted to any that you wanted to attend?
Oh yeah, Georgia State, Georgia Southern. Uh, I don't. I applied. The school I really wanted to go to was University of Miami, and I don't know if I either didn't finish the application because that's when I was starting to like get tired of it. I don't remember if I ever heard back or looked to hear back, but State and Georgia Southern definitely because those were the two that were closest to me. Of course, in Atlanta that I was planning on going to.
And for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share your screen name on IG as well?
Oh, it's Ash Cash CC.
Now, diving a little bit deeper with your past. For those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was born in Laurel, Maryland.
And care to share where you were raised?
I was raised, I want to say, halfway in Maryland, and then in 6th grade, I moved to Atlanta. So, like, raised Laurel, but really, like, grew up in Atlanta.
And do you recall the reason for the move back in those days?
My mom's job had moved her to Georgia.
And do you still reside in Atlanta today?
Yes, I do.
And when it comes to Laurel, Maryland, for those in the audience that may not be familiar with that area, what's the closest city they may be familiar with?
Baltimore.
And how far of a drive is that distance-wise?
I think like 20, 30 minutes.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but can you give the audience 5 tips on moving to Atlanta?
Okay, so I'm going to give, when I moved, of course, I was a child. Nothing was in my control of the move, but saying that nothing was in my responsibility of the move. So I'm going to give advice for a lot of stuff that I'm seeing now as a trend that I just feel, because I have moved out of state before. I moved to Tennessee before. So I'm going to give advice on moving to Atlanta or mistakes I'm being made. Don't move to anywhere thinking you're going to be famous. Like, I could have 3 million followers and I still wouldn't move to LA just off the sole thing, like, I'm coming out here to be famous or to be an influencer or whatever. Because to me, that just doesn't seem solid. Like, don't make that, like, be prepared to get a job out there. Like, I feel like that's smart. Be prepared to get a job. So I say that don't move to Atlanta because you see people on Instagram or teenagers, 18, talk about they live in high rises and they do this, that, and third. Because that's not everybody. It's not 100% dependable, and don't put yourself in a different state unable to provide for yourself or with something that's not a definite, tangible thing. So basically, have a realistic plan in place on how you're going to provide for yourself. 2, to move to Atlanta, don't try and compete with everybody. Because, I mean, Atlanta is known now as this big city where it's like the scammers and the girl and da-da-da-da. You don't know what type of life these people are living behind closed doors. Like, you can see somebody draped out, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, Balenciaga, and go sleep on their homeboy couch. Like, you don't know. So don't try and go broke trying to compete with people who you don't know. Whatever. Don't discredit nobody. Don't assume. Because Atlanta is a big city. You don't know who knows who. Now, don't overlook the person who's in a plain t-shirt and jeans trying to hang with the dude with the Hellcat, because you don't, that plain dude could get you more connections, or that plain girl can get you more connections, know more people. You rap, her dad could own a record label. Like, so don't discard nobody. For, I know I already said don't compare yourself to nobody, but this is more towards apartments. Don't try and get a high rise or some nice grand thing. Don't try and get what you can't afford. I know that's not comparing nobody, but don't try and get a car with a $2,000 car note if you can't afford no $2,000 car note. Don't try and get an apartment with $4,000 rent if you can't afford $4,000 rent. And then 5, really look up what Atlanta is, because it's not just great new LA, just everything's peaches and creams and wonderful. Because, like, if you really want to move here for a specific reason other than just what you've heard about it, then cool, yes. But if you just hearing stories about how great Atlanta is, oh, it's so fun, and you move out here for fun, I don't feel like that's a smart idea at all.
Any bonus tips?
Uh,
Moving to Atlanta.
be prepared to sit in traffic, 'cause traffic's a bitch out here. Actually, stop moving here. It's too crowded, bro.
What are those traffic times?
Of course, it's like around 8 to 9, and then you got it again at 5. And, like, this ain't regular traffic. This is, like, standstill traffic. Like, just don't move traffic. And then sometimes, really, it'd be, like, even at night kind of get crowded because everybody want to go out at night. Yeah. But 9 and 5, definitely. I feel like everybody knows that.
5 till about what would you say?
5 to, like, 6, 6:30, 7.
Okay, now I want to rewind on a couple things that you just mentioned. You mentioned that you went out of state to Tennessee at one point in your life, and then you returned back to Atlanta. What age did that take place?
I moved when I was
Rough estimate.
18 or 19. I can't remember. That's crazy that I can't remember what year. It's all fuzzy, but like 18 or 19, I moved to Tennessee.
And then what age do you return?
The same age. I moved right after my birthday, and I know I came back. I know I moved in September after my birthday, and then I came back in like May.
And did you already state the reason why you moved to Tennessee and why you returned back to Atlanta?
My friend went to TSU, and then they were getting an apartment. They knew I could pay rent, and I didn't have nothing holding me here, so we just got an apartment together.
And then why did things end and you returned?
The lease ended, and then I didn't move back. Okay, it was definitely like, it was last year, because I didn't go back this year, because I started traveling more, for one, and 2, like, it's nice being with my parents right now because I'm barely home anyway. So I just can't imagine me spending out, like, thousands over the time for a place I'm not even in for real.
And that was in reference to the year 2023 or 2022?
2022. 2023. 2023 is when I moved.
And when it comes to Laurel and it comes to Atlanta, was it a certain portion or a more specific area of Laurel or Atlanta that you grew up or were raised in? Does it get any more specific?
Not really, especially not with Laurel, because I was a kid. Like, I don't really remember nothing for real.
Now, what was that really like growing up for you in Atlanta?
It was cool. I was never one to be outside for real. Like, I think I just started going out within the last year or 2. Like, really. So, like, a lot of reasons people say Atlanta's fun, that was never the reason I liked Atlanta. Like, it's always been cool, but not for, like, the partying and stuff.
Now, what was the top point for you during your upbringing in ATL? What was your highest point or most positive moment growing up in that area?
I'm going to say That's a good question.
if you have one?
I really can't think of a super positive point just because everything has always been pretty good. Like I feel like I stay as far as like living here, everything stays pretty neutral. I can't think of no like of course I have good moments, but I'm trying to think of I can't think of nothing specific that I could be like, "Oh yeah, this was a really good time in Atlanta."
Well, not necessarily a good time in Atlanta, but good time for you while growing up in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yes, so let me reiterate the question. What was
mhm.
the top point for you during your upbringing in Atlanta? What was your highest point or most positive moment growing up in that area for you?
Uh, well, if we're growing up, then I'm gonna say definitely 10th grade, just because I remember 10th grade is like such a good year at the time. I had a really close group of friends at the time. Um, had myself a little boyfriend. School was going good. I was on cheer team, like 10th grade. Like I was just 10th grade. That was like a good time for sure.
And what school was that you're referencing here?
Fayette County High School.
And how far did you get with cheering?
Oh, I did varsity cheer all 4 years of high school. I think I only took one season off. I took football season off 1 year because I was just tired of it.
Was there any thoughts on furthering the cheering side of things after high school was over?
Uh-uh.
Never had those dreams of wanting to be a cheerleader for an NFL football team or basketball team or
Mm-mm.
on some professional level there.
For one, they don't really make money for real. Like it's like a hard that cheer is a sport. Cheer is a hard sport. But they're very strict with a lot of stuff and they don't make like money for real. Like a lot of people always said that they thought like they would be making bank, like the players. Nah. So to me that's a lot of work for not a lot of payout. And two, even when I was cheering in high school, it was cool and I liked it, but some stuff would throw me off.
Like,
I don't know. People from high school are gonna see this and say I'm Hollywood. uh, I don't like being around people when I don't have to be, especially when I'm getting blowed. So certain things would throw me off, especially like I don't know. Like one, I don't like being told what to do. I hate being told what to do with a passion. So that was something that it taught me a lot of discipline, but I didn't like that. For something I don't have to do, I didn't like that. Two, especially when I was underclassmen, I hated people who I go to school with telling me what to do. I didn't like that shit at all. And three, just the being around people and seeing certain stuff and then you would have to be around, that blew me. Like, so yeah.
and was it a certain position that you had during your years of cheering?
Uh, you're talking like I was a bass in cheer. That's what I did, and then I was co-captain 1 year.
And which year?
I want to say my senior year, junior year.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, what was the bottom point for you during your upbringing in Atlanta? What was your lowest point or most negative moment growing up in that area for you?
Junior year,
11th grade.
yeah.
What happened there?
uh, didn't have no boyfriend. Didn't have fell out with the friends. That's the semester I didn't do cheer. It was just a lot going on.
What led to the downfall of all these items?
Um, really, being 100, it was a whole situation with me and this one girl. I don't even want to speak on it too much because I don't even like bringing her up or giving her no type of whatever. Me and this one girl fell out over a dude I never liked. Nothing going on. And then a lot of stuff just kept spiraling out of that.
Why the breakup with that boyfriend?
That happened a little bit before that, so it was like it was a thing, but it wasn't like one of the main things that was making it bad. Uh, at the time, he was like a year or two older than me, So maturity level, we were very mature, but I think in certain aspects he was older and was ready for more stuff, and I was still younger. And yeah, that's why we kind of split.
And who broke up with who, technically speaking?
He broke up with me, but I know he definitely broke up with me, but it was like that was like that breakup took like 2 weeks because it would be like we would talk about it and then we would still talk and then we would talk about it and still talk. Like we didn't even officially cut it until like I don't know when, but yeah.
Now, how were you able to survive that upbringing in Atlanta? Because there are some that don't make it.
And I feel like my stories and my highs and lows are definitely not nowhere near as bad as what it can be in Atlanta. So I don't even want to give the impression that I'm trying to say like what I went through was terrible. Like that's high school drama. Like I didn't have no real like real problems. I'm of course grateful that I could get through everything, of course, but that's not too much to get through. Like there are people who have like real deal issues in Atlanta. So I'm grateful for getting through mine, but I'm praying for those who are trying to get through theirs.
Now, be that as it may, there are some people who say things like, don't know if I'll make it to see the age of 18. 21, for example. Did you have any of these thoughts yourself growing up in Atlanta?
No, I didn't.
And speaking of age, care to share your current age at this point?
I'm 20.
And your birthday while you're at it, the month and the day perhaps.
August 8th.
And be that as it may, knowing what you know now, hypothetically speaking, what would you have said to your younger self back then, if anything?
I say to myself, fuck with who fuck with you, cause I had a bad habit and stuff. Bad habit being real cool with people who don't deserve that side of me, or being real. I don't know. Just I leave it as fuck with who fuck with you. Um, that you do not need nobody. Like somebody don't want to fuck with you, that's fine. Don't try and whatever. Because at the end of the day, I swear to God, 9.9 times out of 10, that person gonna end up trying to be back in your life. So you don't need nobody. Don't try and force nobody to be in your life if they don't want to let that shit go. And I'd say focus more on yourself. Like really focus on yourself. I need to tell myself that even now, because I'll get in a situation or just like I get in modes where I will care more about other people and not focus on what I got going on. But like they focusing on what they got going on and I'm focusing on them. Ain't nobody focus on me. So I gotta be the one to focus on me at the end of the day, no matter what.
Anything else you want to mention about your upbringing or question you weren't asked, people want to know just about that.
Uh no, not really.
Now, who or what motivates you at this point?
My mom.
And what is it about your mother that motivates you?
That is just like a hard working woman that like not only is she hardworking, so I've grown up with that, you know, um, role model as a hardworking woman, but the way she supports me, like, and that's really been sinking into my head like recently, like just the way she supported me, the things she's done for me. I can't just like f around and not make a profit to give her something back. And recently I've started to, like, and that feels really good to be able to give your mom something like for real, for real. Like of course like I could buy her dinner or whatever, whatever. But recently I just bought her a flight to Africa. So yeah, being able to do stuff like that, that's what's motivating me to be able to repay her back for some of the stuff that she's done for me.
And something of that nature, that gift there, is that something you just totally surprise her with? Or is that something that's talked about? Like maybe she has aspirations to go there and you tell her you're going to fund it at some point? Or how does that work?
Uh, Her friend is actually going for her birthday, and then she told me we were just talking about it, and she told me that she kind of wanted to go, but she didn't know if she really wanted to spend that money. And I told her like, I got you, and I paid for it.
And she ended up going on that trip.
Well, it's booked, yeah, but yeah, she's gonna go.
And currently, if one were to glance at your IG account, which is
Ash Cash CC.
your only pinned post, your top left post is a photo of you and your mother.
Yeah.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, but there may be someone in the audience who needs some motivational words or encouragement themselves right now. Can you give them any?
I would say only you can motivate you. Like, you can listen to 1,000 podcasts, you can listen to me say whatever, but only you can motivate you. So whether that's finding something that really means something to you to make you go hard, or going hard for yourself just to say that you made it, those are like the two things you should do. Like, find something that makes you go hard, or go hard for yourself. Me personally, all I would say, the only thing that I wouldn't really recommend, like whatever floats your boat, works for you, great. Only thing I would personally not recommend letting motivate you is like just trying to get to where someone else is or what someone else has. Because again, you never know what's going on behind. Like, you just don't let someone else try and define you, because you get to what someone has, and then you don't feel happy because you were never doing it for yourself or doing it for a real reason. You just want to have what they have, got what they got. So that's the one thing. But
And has your mother seen your Instagram account and see that she is the top left pinned post?
hmm
What was her reaction to that?
um, she of course like likes it. At the time, I was kind of in a little sad mood or whatever. So what I was posting was just like trying to get back to like what really matters to me for real. Like, I was just thinking, like, if you look at my Instagram, like, you see pictures of me, but nothing of stuff that really, really matter to me. So I just want to make sure that's on there as well.
And did you tell her you were doing all that, like pinning a post and it was your top, or
Mm-mm.
she just saw it?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely didn't tell her.
Have you overcome that sadness?
Yeah, I really been working on it, but yeah.
Just for clarification, it's in progress that you're working on it, or you've actually overcome it?
I've overcome the sadness that I was at that point, but like certain stuff, I'm still working on me and working on certain stuff. But overcome the sadness I was at that point, yeah, but still working on me, period.
You spoke in a previous segment about a friend group you were a part of in 10th grade and split with in 11th grade, but just zooming out, what is your definition of a friend?
My definition of a friend is someone you can trust, I want to say 90% of the time. Someone you can trust 90% of the time. Like, if like 9 times out of 10, I can trust this person. And that means trust them with like, trust them like if I need something, they're going to come through. Trust them in if they're in a situation and some people are bad mouthing me, I can trust them to make the right decision in that. Trust them to not want to do something to hurt me. That's what I would say as a friend. Not only say 9 times out of 10, because people aren't perfect. Sometimes people mess up, like whatever. But like if their intentions are pure and they have your back and you have theirs, that's a friend.
How do you spot a fake friend?
So many ways. If someone's not happy for your success, that's a fake friend. Like any friend I have, I am so happy when they win. Even if I'm not winning, happy when they win. Uh, Fake friend. Somebody that just like for some reason feels like they need to humble you. Like you should never be scared to tell your friends something good happened to you because you don't want to hear their response. Or you think their response is going to be anything other than congratulations or whatever. Any friend that's going to try and make you look bad in front of other people, that's definitely a fake friend. Like, if you're watching, y'all know that friend, like, or that person that's like, you a group of dudes, you get around girls, that one friend, ain't them the same jeans you wore the last 3 days? Or, oh, can I get my shoes back? Or the girls who be like, just, oh, look at her lace or whatever. Like, that person who's gonna, like, that's a fake friend. You don't need to be around those people. Joke or not, that shit not funny.
Now, do you have a best friend?
I feel like I have, yeah, a couple of best friends now.
Care to share who any of them are?
Of course, I have my best friend who I've been said, like, my oldest friend. I've been friends with her since we were babies. Her name is Shania. And then I have my friend Jessica, who I talk to, like, every day, I'm pretty sure. If not every day, very, very close. And then another best friend, Nolan. And we're, like, really close.
And just for transparency, Jessica is off camera to the side of you during this interview.
Yeah. Like, if you watch me, you've seen Jessica.
Okay, now what about whether it's in regards to social media influencing or not? Well, let me back up. I'm going to ask you a different question. When it comes to celebrities, who's the friendliest celebrity you've met so far?
I'm going to be real careful with my words with this.
And if friendly is not the correct terminology, I mean the coolest celebrity,
Yeah,
the nicest, someone that just
let me think.
and I'm using the word celebrity, but it could be a famous person, a well-known person, a popular
Right.
person.
I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, this is going to be so weird. Well, not weird, but this is like the funniest thing I could think of that came to my mind. Me and Jessica went to the club one time, and Waka Flocka was there. And then I think we were about to get in. He was like, "You want me in the section?" We were like, "Sure." And like, this is completely on cool stuff. Like, he wasn't flirting with nobody. Like, he was just a really chill dude. Like, he was a very chill dude. So I'll say him. He was a chill dude.
And do you recall what venue this took place in?
I think Rebel or something.
And was he the host that evening, or he was just attending that venue there?
I think he was just attending. Like, it was like a really chill night. Like, it wasn't yeah.
He didn't touch the mic and do any hosting or anything of that nature.
Nah.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, who's been the meanest celebrity you've met so far?
I mean, I can't think of nobody that's been mean or rude. Like, every celebrity I met, like, professional setting or non-professional, has been, like, real chill. Like, I've never had nothing that comes to mind, like, a bad experience, for real.
Do you have any Diddy stories?
No, I don't have any Diddy stories.
Any Cat Williams stories?
No. My mom just went to go see him, though.
What was her reaction or review to what she saw?
Oh my gosh, she said that was the funniest show she had seen in like I don't know how long.
And was this after the Club Shay Shay interview that she saw him?
Yeah, this was like within the last 3 days, 4 days.
Okay, now touching on the topic of social media here. What is your biggest social media platform at this point?
TikTok, which is 1.5 million.
And for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share your screen name on TikTok as well?
It's just AshCashCC as well.
Now, do you remember how long it took for you to touch that million mark?
I want to say 2 years.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone. But can you give the audience 5 tips to earn 1 million followers on TikTok?
Post content that you want to post. Don't try and, of course, you can follow trend, but don't try and make your account something that it's not. Because I guarantee, no matter if it take a day, a month, a week, a year, you're going to get tired of doing something you don't want to do. And so it's better to just start off with what you want to post and grow that than get big on something you don't and then try and switch over and then your numbers fall off because this isn't what people came here for. 2, go at your own pace because I say it took 2 years for me to get to 1 million. I know people who within 3 months got 1 million and then lost their account and they never touched over 100K again. And then for me, I was sitting at like, I want to say 200K for, I want to say a year of that 2 years for real because I took a little break. So a year of those 2 years are the 200K. And then within the span of a month and a half, I went from 400K to 600K. So that's 200,000 and whatever. So go at your own pace. Don't buy followers. I wouldn't recommend it. One, I heard your account can get taken if they find out bots. 2, your engagement isn't gonna look right. And 3, it just feels better when you do it authentically. 4, it's good to have goals, but don't stress too hard about hitting them. Like everybody starts somewhere. Don't look at if you have 3 followers. Don't look at that and feel bad because you know what? Someone out there has 1 follower. Someone out there has 0 followers. So, and of course, don't compare yourself to somebody else, but just know everybody starts from somewhere. You're gonna build up. And 5, to hit 1 million, post a lot. You have to stay consistent. Like it's gonna be hard to it's gonna be hard to grow if like you take these long breaks, because especially capitalize. I guess it's the 6th bonus one. Capitalize off when stuff is good. Like if you have a trending video right now, jump on that while it is trending. Yeah.
And speaking of bonus tips, any other bonus tips?
Trending sounds. And I never use hashtags, but apparently they work. But
Has there ever been a thought on doing music?
yes, I want to make 1 song. Just because I want to make a music video. That's the only reason why.
And how close are you to that goal?
Not
Or how
close.
serious is that goal into consideration at this point?
It's not serious enough for me to have tried to do it. Because if I truly want to make a song, I'd have been to the studio like, I think 5 times since I said I want to do that and haven't done nothing. So I'm more of a, like one day I feel like I'm just going to wake up and be like, that's what I want to do today, and then I'll do it. But it's serious enough in the sense that it's going to happen, but not serious enough in the sense that it's going to happen anytime soon or that I'm planning on it.
Now, at this point, when it comes to all your social media platforms, care to share any of those screen names, handles, things of that nature?
TikTok and Instagram is AshCashCC, and then my YouTube is Ashley Summers.
What about OnlyFans?
I don't have OnlyFans.
What is your opinion on that?
I have no opinion on it for real. I feel like I rarely let stuff that doesn't affect me bother me, so I really don't have like an opinion on it at all.
And why no OnlyFans for you?
It's just not something I want to do personally, but yeah, it's just not something I want to do personally.
Now, you are a part of a network called FanTime.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between FanTime and OnlyFans?
Yeah, it's like FanTime. My friend actually put me onto it because we were talking about how easy it is to make money on OnlyFans, but like the stigma and then the stuff and whatever, like it's just a no-go for both of us. But she's like, oh, you should get on FanTime. And I was like, oh, what's that? And she was like, it's basically Instagram, but you have to subscribe. But I rarely even post on that because I think I just started posting on my Instagram pictures. And I rarely even got on that for real.
So currently the posts on FanTime are posts that can be seen already on your Instagram.
I think like one or two, yeah. But like it's nothing crazy on there. And I think that's what, like, if I were to do OnlyFans, I wouldn't do OnlyFans content. So it would just end up being a bunch of people mad that they subscribed or whatever. So I feel like FanTime really cuts that out or whatever.
Okay, so maybe one or two posts on FanTime could be seen on your Instagram, but what is on there?
Nothing for real. I think I have a picture of me like in a bath. Like it'll be like picture I took. Like I know there's on my Instagram. It's a picture I took in a bathing suit, and then on my FanTime, like I took a picture in a mirror in the same bathing suit and posted it. Yeah, just like regular stuff like that.
So FanTime, as far as FanTime gets for you, it'll just be bathing suits and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy because to me, like I know it's the whole privacy and whatever, but it's still the internet. So anything I post on there, I would expect, like not expect, but it's in my mind that this could get out. Don't like I wouldn't put nothing crazy on the internet, period. But like just anything you post on there, it's never assumed that like, oh, this is nobody's gonna see this.
And has anybody that has signed up to your FanTime felt any sort of way about it?
Yeah, I think I had a couple people be like, "Where's the ass?" But yeah.
And what's your response to that?
I don't know, man.
Do people say you look like anybody?
I hear. I am not saying I look like these people, cause I remember one time I said it and then people got on me. I hear that I look like Jania Michelle a lot. I hear that I look like India. And there was someone else people said I look like, but I forget. But those are the main two that I get like a lot. Jania and India.
Now, it's one
Heavy.
thing for people to say you look like someone, but have you ever honestly been mistaken for either of these two?
Mm-mm.
And have you ever played into it in any sort of manner?
No, not really. But even like, actually, I think I do get Jania Michelle a lot because I was I was doing a music video with Glorilla, and then she had even told me she was like, "You look a lot like Jania." So I was like,
And when I ask the question, have you ever played into it in any sort of manner? It could be for fun, a skit on social media perhaps, a Halloween costume, so on and so forth.
"Yeah, nah, I've never done any of those." I think for one Halloween I was gonna try and be India, but I don't think I did.
Now, it's one thing for people to think you look like any of these people, as previously mentioned, but do you see any resemblance of any sort?
I see Jania sometimes. Like when I'll be looking at myself, I'll see Jania for sure.
And for transparency, do you know either of these two personally, by
Oh
any
no.
chance?
Mm-mm.
Now, hypothetically speaking, if they were working on a biopic of either of these people and they wanted to cast you for that role, would you do it?
Oh yeah, I would be honored.
And speaking of acting, have you ever had an acting role before?
Uh, I've acted in some music videos, like some for some like good artist music videos, but never like a commercial or TV show.
And speaking of those music videos, for those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share any music videos where you were the lead role of those music videos?
Uh, 42 Doug, his song Bay, I was a lead role. Um, Glorilla's No More Love. Um, you wanna know something? I was in a music video for 21 Savage and someone else, and I cannot find the music video. I didn't know the song name, and I really want to find it, but I can't. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. It's been so long since I did music videos for real that I can't fully remember. Oh, I keep thinking back to old questions you asked me. A celebrity who was cool, Beat King. Oh, and 2 Chains. The things are coming back to me. But I was saying that to say I was supposed to be in a music video for Moneybagg Yo, 2 Chains, and Beat King, but I never did like for real twerking or the lingerie. I never did those, especially because when I was doing music videos, I was in and fresh out of high school. So I was 17 when I graduated high school too. But I think okay, no, I didn't start because you had to be 18. But I just like I did my first music because people have been asking me, but like I was 17, so I did my first music video day the day after I turned 18, literally. But anyway, I never did the twerking and all that stuff. And then I got cast to be a lead model in the thing. And I always like read descriptions and look at stuff because I don't want to waste their time or mine. Like if I'm not gonna do it, I don't want to get up and play in these people's face. And I don't need nobody in my face telling me I need to, whatever. So I get up at 6 a.m., go to the music video shoot, I get in hair and makeup. And then it was for a song called Pop It. And you could tell what type of song that is. So the director ended up pulling me out. But B King, me and him ended up like talking very cool. Like he's a very cool dude. And then we was finna start shooting. He was like, "Come in." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't really do twerking." He was like, "Nah, nah, you a vibe." But the director still pulled me out anyway. And 2 Chainz had asked for a picture with me on the set, so he was real cool too. But yeah, but those are the top music videos I can think of right now. Right now, it's been like a little minute since I did them, so I can't name a lot off the top of my head.
So, did you make the final cut of that Beat King music video?
And one shot at the end, cause someone had went around with the VHS camera, cause the theme was Freaknik of the music video. Someone went around with a VHS camera, and you could see me like on the hood of a car on my phone or something.
Did you still get paid for your time on that set?
No, I did
And it wasn't your fault about the twerking. It wasn't stated in the description or anything of that nature.
not. No, it wasn't, cause I wouldn't have went if it was that. But like, I wasn't really salty about it, cause I understand. Like, I didn't perform for real, so the payment it didn't really. Nah, I've never been pressed about no bread, so
And out of all those music video lead roles, which one are you most proud of?
I don't know. I would say the one I'm most proud of is whichever big music video I did first, but I cannot remember which one I did first. But I feel like that's the one I'm most proud of because that was like, I know whichever one it was, I felt really like, wow, like I'm doing this.
All right. I lost myself with my questions. I was going to ask a follow-up question and I kind of lost where my place was. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah. Well, all right. Is there anything else you want to mention about any of these resemblances or a question you weren't asked people want to know about them?
Mm-mm.
Okay, my last topic to you. My last topic to you is relationship status. What is your current relationship status at this point?
I am not in a relationship.
Even though it looks like you're in one.
uh, yeah, I am not in a relationship.
So, what's the status between you and Jay Sean?
Um, right now, we both care about each other, and yeah.
All right. Well, that's that there. Okay, just a outro here to wrap any and everything up. Before this interview ends, is there anything else you were not asked fans want to know?
Uh, as a matter of fact, there is something I would want to clear up. On the internet, there has been a lot of discourse about me and Jay Sean, and a lot of comments do say just stuff like he doesn't like you, or they'll say that I don't like him, or whatever. I just want to say nobody knows what goes on behind camera, and even on camera. I don't get what would give that impression, seeing as we literally just were with each other for a month straight, basically. But I would just say that to say, like, there is no need for all of that at all. And yeah, that should be put to rest.
Anything else? And not just on Jay, but zooming out, generally speaking here.
Uh, no.
Any loose ends you want to tie from this interview with the previous topics you were asked?
No, not that I can think of.
Anything you failed to speak on?
Mm-mm.
Anything that needs further clarification from what was said in this interview?
Not that I can think of.
And I just thought of some follow-up questions about Jay.
Okay.
And that's taking it all the way back and how that relationship started with you two, or that connection, or whatever way you want to phrase it.
Yeah. Me and Jay have known each other for about 3 years now. Um, we did a story time on how we met on his YouTube, but basically,
Well, if you've already done that story time, then we'll point the audience to that
oh,
that
well,
YouTube.
yeah.
Didn't know if you had a story time about that or not. That's why I was just
Hmm.
following up with some questions there. But yeah, care to share that channel name of his, where, or the title to that particular video, where they can see that history of you two?
Yeah, his YouTube is just Jay Sean, but an X instead of a J, and it'll be like story time on how we met.
And when I was researching you previously, I didn't find that story time on your channel.
Yeah.
Didn't look at his to see if there was one there, but when I looked at yours, didn't see it. So that's why it prompted me
Yeah.
for these questions. But that's fine. Um, there's already a source where people can find that and want to share his channel for that information. But zooming out once again, any final words before this ends?
Uh, just generally,
Yes.
thank you to everybody who watched. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching right now, and go follow me.
And where can they follow you at?
AshCashCC on Instagram and TikTok, and Ashley Summers on YouTube.
And FanTime?
Oh, yeah. I really don't even be on that because I be forgetting about it. But that link is in my bio.